Purdue, NC State, UConn, Bama. That's our Final Four. Um, Interesting, to say the least. The ZAP bracket died. Houston just couldn't get it done. She got hurt though, so they lucked out. They played Duke, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
one of those games that is gonna stick with me forever. I'm never gonna forget that game and that feeling, like seeing
yeah,
Sheed go down. I knew.
yeah,
I just knew when he was on the baseline.
yeah.
Just and you hope he could walk, take a like give him a shot or whatever, he comes back, but it's those
Yeah, hop on
ankles,
the
man,
bike or something, but
ankles, and it was the replay looked tough. That was the game, like that was the game right there. Like this isn't just like plug and play, like but this is the best point guard
yeah,
in college basketball. We've given our love to Kolek, but man, like he does it
he
on
controls
both
it,
ends.
bro. Yeah, he's a defensive monster. He can pass the rock. He can drive, create his own shot. Yeah, dude, I agree. I When he went down, it was tough. I mean, luckily I was in Atlantic City that I could have some alcohol lean on, but that was tough.
Yeah.
That
It
was tough.
it's yeah, that one's definitely gonna stick with me. Not even so much like the bracket, just like I felt for Sheed and like I that
And
team
Houston.
grew on me, and Houston, who's had just the shittiest like
Yeah,
misfortune in the tournament the last couple of years. And some
yeah,
of it's to their own doing, but the injury luck and the injury misfortune, um, and just some of the draws they got. That I think they must have like sold their entire like program soul for that Final Four run in 2021, I think.
yeah. No, I think you're right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When they just
They
had like the
must have.
easiest when they lost to Baylor. They lost
Yeah,
to
because they
Baylor.
had that run that they had. Yeah. Um. Yeah, dude, it was tough. It was a tough one to swallow, but the show must go on. Uh, UConn though. I mean, I know you said before, back to backs. They're tough. They're tough to happen. Don't come across them a lot. Really, very rare. Very rare. But I don't know, dude. UConn looks UConn looks legit. I mean, if in my heart, I think it's gonna be UConn and Purdue. I know that's boring, but I think they're obviously the two best teams in the nation. Um, I kind of hope so. I kind of hope that's what the game is, mostly because I want Matt Painter to suffer, but mostly because that would just be a spectacular championship game. Um, but UConn looks great. I mean, they weren't even like challenged really at all. I feel like they just cruised their way through. And then on the flip side, though, they got Bama, and Bama. We weren't really too high on the SEC, especially Kentucky and Bama. We had Bama losing goddamn Charleston in the first round, but Bama, like their run and gun is working perfectly,
Yeah.
absolutely perfectly. They're making their shots and they're just outpacing every single opponent.
Yeah.
And I gotta tip the cap because like normally in college, you can have a couple of those games, but you're gonna have a game where you just fall completely flat on your face. But Bama just has too many good stars, too many good players to make that happen. It is like as much as I hated it for the bracket's sake and like just because I was also on the same boat as you that I did not think they were gonna go on a deep run. I also do have to appreciate when like the game plan that they've been stuck in with all season long is working and it keeps working and you just keep dominating his teams. It's fascinating to me. But
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to
I
see though how they do, not to cut you off, but it'll be interesting how they do with UConn coming up. But I'll let you get some words out.
Yeah, no, just Bama, like I said, like last or 2 episodes ago. Excuse me. I think we forced like, and I did think that could have happened. Like Like this was a team like Bama was what were they 0-6 against teams that were like we remember that stat was like they were 0-6 against was it ranked teams or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was like teams in like the top 15, I think. But yeah, it
Something
was
like that.
the nation's top teams. Yeah,
They didn't show up all year against like good teams. And Nate Oates, phenomenal coach, like he's done a great job fielding this team and like getting them to play as a unit and execute his
hmm
philosophy like they do it to a T. And
yeah,
it's I can't believe that they're in the final four. Like I can, but like I also like I can't. Like this was a team that had too many red flags for me that
yeah,
was like in the final four.
exactly.
It's yeah. Well
It's
done. Well
impressive.
done. Well done. Well done, Nate Oates.
But like on the flip side, like you can't get like I forget what the exact word you said, but like stuff happens where like an upset could happen like that, and you can't get mad at calling one of those because it's exactly what NC State did. They weren't even supposed to be in the tournament. Uh, they were what in the ACC. They were down to Virginia, and Virginia couldn't make free throws, and they came back and won, and then they steamrolled past the rest of the ACC tournament, got an automatic bid, and just can't stop losing on the back of DJ Burns. I mean, he's America's sweetheart. I love him. He's awesome. Uh, this is a real test, though. I'm very interested to see how he matches up with Edie and all that. But like that's what I'm saying. You can't get too beat up on yourself because like you could have Charleston go deep. You could have these other Cinderella teams go deep. You just picked the wrong one,
Yeah.
you know. But NC State again, you can't get mad at yourself for not picking them because one, they weren't supposed to be in the tournament, and like two, like
Dude, yeah.
they're shocking everybody. Like
Everybody.
this is not the team that I'm pretty sure NC State was on like a losing streak as well too coming into the ACC tournament. So like every sign pointed that NC State was a fraud, probably more fraud than Alabama. But the fact that these two teams said, "Fuck it, dude, we're in it, let's dance," and they danced all the way to the Final Four. So like, I love it. You know, I do agree. UConn, Purdue, like in the back of my mind, after every bracket I was filling out, I knew they were gonna make it here. I had UConn way more than Purdue because of my kind of disdain for that program. But I knew those were the two best teams. But I think also that these are Bam. When I'm talking about Bam and NC State, they're good teams to kind of test these teams a little bit. I think
Oh,
there could be upset potential. Maybe more so with NC State, just kind of like everything that's riding on them. Um, and hopefully DJ Burns, like Zach Easy hasn't seen a body like DJ Burns. I mean, most college teams haven't, but hasn't seen a body like him yet. So like that'll be for sure where my attention and focus is on for that game. But I love it. I love it. I like the Final Four. I don't think anybody really hates it, but I'm a big fan.
I agree. It's a good one. Like all things considered. Bama, I think when I looked, the spread was 11.5.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean UConn's been what's their average margin of victory? Got to be like 15 or something.
Phillies suck. Screw you, Phillies. Um, it's gonna be a long season. Um, let me peep the spread real quick though. Because yeah, you said there. Mark Sears
Yeah,
might be a future NBA player. He
yeah.
reminds me a lot of a guy in New York wearing blue and orange and white.
I
He
know
plays.
exactly what you're talking about.
I c- and
I
he's a
see it.
dog too, man.
I see it.
And he's a dog too.
I see it, dude.
That game was close until Bama just took over.
Yeah,
And then they were up 10 just like that because Mark Sears. Mark Sears hit the three to like put him up like 8 or like 9 or 10, and then they called a timeout, and that was all she wrote from there. My buddy's a Bama fan. He texted me. He's like, Bama. I was like, that was a run right there. Like that's it. Like they
yeah.
won. and that was him.
Brunson Jr. Yeah.
And another guy who I don't think we talked about that much on here. I didn't even really know he was capable of doing what he did in the Sweet 16, I believe it was. Grant Nelson. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
6'11". Like it's like KD esque. Like I don't even like Chris stops. Like the he was gliding out there. He was moving. He was getting to the cup. He was hitting jumpers. I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't know this guy had it in
I
him.
was unfamiliar with your game,
I
sir.
was unfamiliar with that. Call me a casual, like if you will. But like, dude, I was like, damn, okay. Like Bama's got another dude. Bama's got another dude.
So
He got
so you
the
like
mustache too. I
so
love it.
you like Bama against UConn, eh?
Dude, to cover? Oh my gosh. I don't think though I cannot dude, if they beat UConn, I mean like I can't look,
I
I said all year that UConn is not going to like repeat and like to be I'm a very like novice. I probably watch UConn like 3 games. Like I'm not like I ain't like a professional analyst here. But I just my novice take was that they don't have it like it takes more than just like talent, but they do have it up here. Like they're freaking like this is a
yeah,
pro team and
yeah,
they're coached by a pro coach and
yeah,
they're just like repeat like this is like basketball. Like it just seems so natural to them. It just
yeah,
seems so natural. Purdue a little bit, but like a little less. So Purdue's a little more like pulling teeth, but it's like the same like solid
yeah.
brand of basketball.
If it'd be UConn Purdue, there would be a hell of a lot more pressure on Purdue than UConn, I feel. I don't know, like I know like back to back is like whatever, but like the mentality though, like I don't know if many of those players like yeah, back to back is on the mind, but it's also like we got to win a championship and like this is just one last roadblock to get us through. I feel like Purdue is like the ups and downs that they've had, the upsets of the teams, like how good they've been. They finally make it, and now you got to play UConn. It's like you don't I feel like they're almost praying for Alabama because then it's like whatever. But no, you got to play UConn, like a damn near like NBA G League team. Like you got to play this team, and like I just feel like it's feel like there's more pressure on the Purdue side of things. It is a wild take to say that though because it is
No.
fighting for a back to back, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's yeah, I feel like you can make an argument either way. And then on like the flip side, like yeah, the back to back, and then Purdue's like, oh, everybody like we just lost last. It's kind of like Virginia, like when they went on, and they won it. It's like, oh, we just lost last year. We're here. It's like underdogs. Like we weren't so like we lost, so like let's go.
Yeah,
I don't know. You can make an argument for either way.
you make an argument for both sides. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, I guess the one team we didn't really talk about too much though, NC State. You think they got any chance?
I think that's a big spread too. Dude, I why am I only seeing women's?
Women's
They're
is on
like
the
the same
takeover.
team, so I can't even. Okay, yeah, it's 9.5 and 11.5. What the?
Yeah, like I'd like the Bama at 11.5, but I don't know if I like NC State. I think their Cinderella run ends. To be honest with you,
It could. I mean that was. Did you watch the Duke game?
Duke NC State.
NC State.
Yeah, I did. I saw like the second half of it, like the full second half.
DJ Burnt would he end with like 29.
Yeah, bro, making and ones like
Yeah,
in transition. That dude was a monster.
like I and God, I'm gonna end up eating my words again because I said this. I said that they peaked before the tournament and they were gonna lose to Texas Tech. But that might have been like that might have been the peak, like 29, and then you're going up against Zach Edey and Matt Painter and the Purdue Boilermakers who are hungry. Like they're like it's like we want to prove everybody wrong. Like
Yeah,
Nobody
it's like
respects us.
it's two different mentalities there.
Yeah,
It's like the we got everything to prove and we got nothing to prove kind of, like that's just like the two kind of vibes of the team. Um I just I just feel bad for DJ Burns because like Zach Eady, the refs love to give him the whistle. Um, and like even if you're able to like stop Edie, they got like Fletcher or whoever can just torch you up from behind the line if you leave them or behind the 3 point line if you leave them open. So that's what makes me struggle trying to be on the NC State side team. But that Duke game, I mean, they just Duke just couldn't just kind of fumbled offensively. And then like all the momentum was just
yeah.
purely on that big boy.
That was kind of my thing all year. Is like Duke doesn't have. They have guys, but they don't have a guy. Like Jerry McCain will be hot one game. Like Flip will be hot one game.
Yeah.
Roche will be hot one game, but they don't have a guy who they can go to
Kind
all
of,
day.
yeah, go to down the stretch, whatever. Like flip flops between whoever. But
It's just too much. And that NC State, like they knew, like they were like DJ, like go, and he went.
yeah, and he went. Um, I do want to see Duke. I hope that core stays together. Although with the transfer portal stuff, everybody's leaving. It's hard for me to even keep up at this point. Um,
It's nuts.
I did forget Tennessee real quick, bro. If they would have made a mid range, like one or two of them, they
But
probably would have won that game. Like I think that was like the deciding factor. I mean, obviously free throws, but like that's just gonna happen with Zach Edey. Like you gotta hope he misses some, you hack him or whatever. But like I don't think they made a single shot um, in the midi, especially on the free throw line and kind of like the top of the block there. They just couldn't
yeah,
couldn't make it. Um, and it sucked because Dalton was, he was trying his best, bro.
he was
Like
on.
Purdue would get up a little bit, Dalton would hit a big three. All of a sudden, Tennessee's like tied it back up. Purdue goes whatever. Like Dalton was trying, but like the Purdue was giving them those mid-range shots, but they could not buy one.
Nope.
Um, and it was tough because I really do feel like Tennessee was like the best shot of beating that Purdue team outside of obviously UConn.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But yeah, they couldn't. The lid was on the basket.
Yeah, dude, it was
Lid was on the
tough.
basket. That you know unfortunate to watch. But at that point, like our final four was shot. So I was just like, there's no.
Yeah, dude, like yeah. Houston lost, so it was already said and done.
Yeah, I was like, there's another one. But yeah, I'm overall like I'm excited for this. I think if I had to say right now, I think both teams cover these spreads. Like,
Okay.
I mean, dude, UConn's good. So the final four we have best team in the country,
Yep.
best player in the country on Purdue, arguably,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got it.
debatable.
Yeah. Award wise, yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
gotta give it to him.
best offense in the country
Yep.
with Bama,
Alabama,
and then the hottest team in the country with NC
hottest
State.
team. Yeah.
That's a pretty
That's
like
what I'm
loaded
saying. Yeah,
conversation.
and
That's
and
pretty
that's
juicy.
like America's team. Like
Yeah,
DJ
right now.
Burns is taking over. Like people are loving him. Like he's definitely created his own kind of world for himself right now. But that's you put it that way. What more do you really want? You know,
It's gonna be electric. It's
like
gonna be
obviously you wish the best player in the country was more exciting to watch, but like it's still technically the best player in the country. But I like the way you put that. I'm going to start using that in
right.
arguments against people who are shitting on it.
Right? I mean, I'm just like, all these teams have just like prime elements
Well,
about them. They just gotta. That I think you can highlight and be like, yeah, this is probably I mean, best case scenario right now, considering how the tournament shook out.
yeah, no, I
Make
couldn't
it fun.
agree more. I couldn't agree more. So we're probably not going to get an episode out before the championship game. Oh no, we will. We'll have a Sunday episode. That's right. So we will. So I was literally about to ask champion, but I'll wait for that because a champion could get knocked out. So yeah, we'll have an episode on Sunday. We'll recap the Final Four games and we'll talk about the championship game.